Hey everyone, welcome to Cowabunga Ranger Talk. I am Dave Chappelle. No, I'm playing. no, I'm Mascara, and with me, as always, is my partner here, DTV83. Uh,
Hey,
and today we got a pretty good topic, one that I wanted to do just because it's something that's been very topical these days, the Ninja Turtles Masters of the Universe crossover. So today we're going to be covering the first comic, which is titled "By the Power of Pizza."
yes.
And yeah, I figured here it is. It's a mini comic, but it's very much a comic because these days you see a comic and there's so many advertisements. So this is just it's basically a comic. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but before we get into that, you got any news or anything you want to run by
I
the?
have I have no news at the moment. Uh
Mm,
well, actually I take that back. I've been using a different editing software for the shorts that are on this channel, and I think it does a better job than Opus Clip, actually.
yeah,
But yeah, that's it really. It's just I've been doing a different uh short AI short editor.
yeah,
Yeah, it gives you a
yeah,
lot more options than just having the plain old shorts with this. The subtitles give you a lot more different, various things you can do with it. It's neat.
yeah. That's awesome. Well, I got a couple of things for the news thing. Well, first of all, for anyone that actually follows, the brand, my flagship mascot fighters and things like that, I try not to go too much onto it, but I'll just say, because we're a Turtles podcast, but I got some really good news about some stuff that's been in development for about a year. I don't want to say it until it actually happens, but as far as that's concerned, things are on the positive for that. Okay, which is always a good thing.
Let me just ask you.
I'll, yeah.
Let me just ask you a question.
Yeah.
Now, it's just a yes or no answer. This is all I'm asking. Is this something that we have communicated off the air?
This is something that yes and no because
Okay.
like this is a big thing that I've been yes and no. Yeah,
Okay. That's
that's
good
the
enough.
answer.
That's good enough.
Yeah, yeah. With that, that's for muscular fighters. Oh, another little thing. I'll make officially on make blogs and all this stuff about it. But for anyone that actually cares, thank you. Uh, the fourth animated series, Echo Reality Champs, that I've created that I'm launching next year. I'm really excited for it, and I've already got content lined up, projected, and
Oh,
organized for
nice.
for the next technically the 3 years because I launched it in 2025, and I've been creating the content, doing a lot of like content work, basically just content work, content work, content work, because I want this show to be completely different than the other shows I've done. Because with my other TV shows, I've always done a sort of a run and gun thing. Like I launch it and then I release the thing. I launch this and then I come out with that. With this, it's gonna be very much. It's got a very wide landing, so to speak. So a lot of stuff's gonna be dropping. So the fourth series has about 3 years of stuff planned out and outlined for it. So I'm really excited for that. For Mascara Fighters today, before we started recording, I also lined up things for the next 2 years. So it's a lot of projects that I do for it, but as far as laying everything out, it's good. I have to work on the two other series, which are Diamond series and Kelly Collider. But as far as that's concerned, that's kind of where it's going. But things are progressing positively, which is good. When you're a content creator, whether people love it, hate it, or whatever, is you know what I mean. If you can project into the future that well, like I'm 2 years into this show, I'm 3 years into the future for that one. You can really see where you're headed, so you can plan better.
Hmm.
It's for me, it's a good thing because it also tells me what projects I need to work on. Like I'll come home from work and I'm tired and I don't want to do nothing, but you're like, come on, turn on the computer, work on this, clean up that animation, clean up this drawing. it just keeps you focused,
Oh
and
yes.
as an as a creator, this because you're a musician like me.
Hmm.
uh right now you could come up with like an album, right? You come up with the title for an album called Toilet Water, for hypotheticals, right? You came up with the idea for a rock album called Toilet Water,
Yeah, sure.
and you came up with the concept that you're going to have 11 tracks on it, right?
Right.
And you've already organized that you're going to make an album called Toilet Water. You've already organized that you're going to have 11 tracks. You already probably have the idea for 3 of the songs, right? You know the
Right.
tone you want to go to. That doesn't mean you've actually done all 11 tracks and you're
Oh,
ready
of
to,
course not.
but you got a game plan now. You know what I mean? That's really, so that'll tell you what you need to do. Okay, so tomorrow when you come home, you need to start working on the chorus of dun 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 dun. No, it needs to be dun 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 dun. You need dun, dun,
Right.
dun. So it's good to have those type of plans. Moving on from just talking about myself.
How dare you? No.
Yeah, right. Like, how dare I talk about myself in my show? What? Wow. But yeah, moving on to more news stuff. The Power Rangers, as far as Lightning Collection, I don't know if I talked this the other day, but I've been seeing it recently again. The Lightning Collection, the Omega Pack, it's
Oh, it
dropped.
dropped.
It dropped price. It was, I think it was $100, and now it's down to like 70. It's like 69.99, and they're
I'm
trying to
this
give
close
you
to
free
picking it up.
shipping. They give you free shipping. I'm thinking
Uh,
about it. I don't.
I'm
It
thinking
doesn't
about
look
it
bad.
too.
Yeah.
No, the only thing is I've never read the comics behind it, and
Yeah.
uh, only thing people say is bad about those figures is that they don't have human head sculpts. And you know
Yeah.
what? A lot of the packs don't have it. The Alien Rangers didn't have their alien heads.
Yeah.
So I think in this case for that series, that's a little 3 pack. I don't think it needed the human heads because it's based off the comic book design, and everybody knows it's Jason and uh,
Trini
Zach.
and Zach. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the blue
And
ones and some other
the alien
character.
girl. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
you know,
add-on.
because that's what happened. My understanding of the comic book is that's what's actually happened during the peace conference. They went off to
Yeah.
peace conference, but it was actually a secret mission.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and somewhere in that secret mission, Zach became a mayor of a city called Angel Grove.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
somehow they got rid of Ming's dad, but Ming was born during this timeline, I guess.
right.
But yeah, going back to the multi pack, the Omegas, I think that pack suffers from fan fatigue. Like, people haven't given it a proper shot just because that was literally one of the last things that they released for Lightning Collection.
And come to think
So
of it, as a YouTuber that creates
yeah,
that kind of content, checking out the products and all, I don't think a lot of YouTubers actually did that product. I
well,
don't think a lot of them did.
it came out during like the hype of bad news, really. Like, we're going on hiatus. There's no more show. The Netflix doesn't know. Like, we don't know this, we don't know that, and then you release. It's like it falls in a cluster of bad news,
Yeah, and it
and it's
came out with the Master Morpher, so it was a head to head. Oh my god, and
yeah,
everybody
that
went
was
for that Master
a
Morpher.
jackpot
So
too. Yeah, that was
I mean,
something else.
everybody, even me, did the Master Morpher review. Only thing different was mine was a live review because by the time I got it, everybody already did it. But I was like, you know what? I'll do live. I did a live review of it, and
Yeah,
again, now I'm talking about myself. But there you go.
you're talking about yourself on your show. What?
I know, right?
Remember
Craziness.
like
Okay.
remember like a little kid, like you used to do like this.
No,
Shame on
no,
you.
no. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
But yeah, the 3 pack is actually coming down enough where I thought about picking up, but
Yeah.
and I don't know. Like I never read the comic books. Like I said, I probably should. Speaking of which, I did go to Barnes and Nobles. It's a little bookstore slash
Hmm.
cafe kind of place.
Hmm.
Um, they did not have any of those Boom comic books at all. I'm really surprised that they don't have any Power Ranger Boom comic books, Ninja Turtles, or anything like that. none of the crossovers or
You
nothing. It was
you're
like
talking the comics or the paperbacks where they like put four issues together
talking about
or
like the
just
paper,
regular.
talking
Yeah,
like the paperbacks where they have like all the issues in
yeah,
one
yeah.
kind of
Like
thing. Yeah,
this is year one, year two, whatever.
yeah, exactly. I mean, they didn't even have the Ninja Turtles ones of those either. They had the Last Ronin and then the second book of that, but they didn't have
Yeah,
like any of like comic 1 through 3 of the original Peter and Lloyd, you
yeah,
know, stuff.
yeah. The other day I did go to the movies and I ended up seeing Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire.
Oh, okay. How was that? This don't have to tell anything about it, but how was it
No,
in your
yeah,
opinion?
I thought it was good. The only like negatives were that they put so many characters in because you want to have the original cast, plus you want to have the new cast, plus you want to have the dude that's the firebender, plus you have the bad guy, and there's not a lot of ghost busting in between, and then you have to sort of muscle in the storyline of uh, the girl, the main girl, what's her name?
I don't know.
Beckman's.
Beckman's
Yeah, yeah,
granddaughter.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. She has like a ghost friend that they kind of sort of make like it's a half a girlfriend thing, and
Okay.
it's sort of a half a Casper thing. But
Yes,
the
it
thing
sounds
is,
like Casper.
it's not it's not written for one or the other. Honestly, I look. I have Tubi like most people, so like I'm accustomed to seeing like a lot of these like lesbian dramas or whatever, just because I I think they're well written. There's a
Oh
good
yeah.
one. Yeah, there's a good one on Tubi called Castaways, where it's like
So
two lesbians, get cast away and that's it. But
yeah. So if
back to
anybody
the
does, so if anybody doesn't know, Tubi is a free streaming service. Basically, it has its like
yeah,
its own channel listings and stuff, but it's just yeah.
yeah. But yeah, getting back to the Ghostbusters thing, and my point was, like, I really don't have a problem with seeing lesbian storylines. My thing was this wasn't really written as a lesbian storyline.
Mm.
And like it's like okay, if you're doing it, do it. Like we're doing a pirated podcast. We a couple of last year we were talking about the lesbian storyline with the Green Ranger and her girlfriend that ends up being the Orange Ranger and
Yeah.
Cosmic. So, but they don't really hint at that, and it just seems like two lonely people. Like, oh, this girl doesn't have any friends, and this dead girl doesn't have any friends either, and then they
What
kind of
happened?
just become friends.
But what happened to her friend from? Oh, you did see the Afterlife movie, right? Ghostbusters
Yeah,
Afterlife. Yeah.
yeah.
What
This
happened
is
to
a
that
complete
friend?
shift. There's a
What happened to
complete
that
shift.
friend?
There's a complete
Complete
shift.
ship.
Okay, because Afterlife was basically the coming of age of the four new Ghostbusters, right? It's
Right.
the girl with the glasses, her brother, the
The
Lucy girl,
scientist.
yeah, the Lucy girl, and the little kid, the one that they call podcast,
Yeah, and you had the
yeah,
teacher too.
yeah, Paul Rudd, yeah. But
The one
those
that
are like your new four stable, right? In
yeah.
this one, no. In this one, no. They pushed the Lucy girl and podcast way into the back of the movie. Like they have like I don't know, maybe like 12 lines at most. At
Wow.
most. Like
That's crazy.
they are sprinkled in. Because now it's not the coming of age of, oh look, we found out about Egon's powers and his farm or not. No, now it's all about the family of Egon's grandparents and Egon's
Yeah.
daughter, and it's very much a Paul Rudd movie. Like Paul Rudd is like trying to like keep the movie together, like gangbusters. Like he's trying to make everything work because a lot of
Yeah.
things here, are what they are. And I'll give credit to my boy Dan Aykroyd. He is in a lot of scenes, a lot more than he needed to be. Well,
Right.
needed to be. It is his franchise, so fine. And
Yeah.
he's kind of the co-creator of it, right? Him and
He is the okay, so this is kind
Harold
of a
Ramis.
funny. This is kind of funny. I just watched an interview about Ghostbusters, and it is his baby. Ghostbusters is his baby. He wrote it, he starred in it, and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
It was because of his upcoming, and I'm not gonna get into all of it, but because of his upcoming, he wrote the story behind Ghostbusters.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
it's neat.
yeah. He should be there. It's fine that
Yeah,
he makes sense to be in the movie, and and Ernie Hudson makes sense to be in the movie too. And they also bring in, I think her name is Amy Potts, the one that was the
Oh,
secretary.
yes, she's in like every Ghostbuster movie, even
Bro,
the
they
all female one. She was in
yeah
there.
they finally let her like wear the jumpsuit in the movie, and I'm like, hell yeah! And they even
Oh,
give her this,
really?
yeah, they give her this cool like fist blaster thing, but then they don't let her do it. I was like, what? You just gave her like this new half a morpher thing weapon that's a blaster for, it's a proton pack thing, but basically on her wrist, and then they don't really let her even do it. Like
Have
they
you have you
very
seen the all
small.
have you seen the all female Ghostbuster movie?
Yes, yes, yes.
They have that weapon. They created that weapon
I don't
where
know if they
it's
created
on
it.
the.
I remember the whips, where they had the two proton whips. That
Mhm.
wasn't it the girl from SNL, Katie McKiesey or something. She has
I
like this
think
weird
so.
name.
Yeah, yeah,
She's always doing Justin Bieber impressions.
hmm
She had the two
yeah.
whips things.
And
That's
the
the
all
weapon I remember.
and the all female one, they're all scientists. I think it was interesting. They're all scientists and all ghost hunters. But yeah, in the
Yeah,
movie they had in the movie because I just watched the movie last week. They built this little proton pack thing where all you had to do was aim and fire it, and it would, thing would explode out of it. It's like
yeah, like a power glove type thing.
yeah, like
Yeah,
a power glove, like a Mega Man. There we go. Let's do Mega Man. Oh, Rock Man if you're Japanese, but
yeah. People are already pissed. We did a whole episode on Street Sharks. Let's.
yeah, let's go with Ghostbusters and let's then go to Mega Man the cartoon
Yeah,
and
wow.
no, why
Let's
not? Sure.
let's do a deep dive into Inspector Gadget or something.
Hey,
That'd be something.
which version? Which version are we talking about here? Are we talking about the old school one, the newer day one, or the ones that are live action movie?
I don't. I'd like to actually like if we actually figure we'd have to bring in somebody that actually is a fan of the live action movies, but
Exactly.
it'd be cool to get back to that. But kind of wrapping up the Ghostbuster thing because we got to get to the topic of the day.
Hmm.
It is a good movie, but Bill Murray, he does not deserve to be on that poster. That Bill Murray did like I don't know, like a week's worth of work, and he is on all of the advertisements. Like you've seen all the posters for it. Bill Murray's holding the thing. I like Bill
Yeah.
Murray. I'm not even trashing it, but it was just like if anybody should be in the movie poster, it should be the four kids. And since you tone shifted, fine, okay, make it about the family, make it about the mom, the Paul Rudd, the girl, and her brother that has nothing to do in the movie. That's another thing. He just like chases Slimer. It's fine, but putting Bill Murray on the poster. Ernie
No.
Hudson did a lot more in the movie, and
Oh,
fun fact.
wow.
Yeah, fuck. Here's a Ernie Hudson fun fact. He was one of the first people that was nice enough to take pictures and help me promote Mascara Fighters during a convention we were both at. So
Oh,
a
wow.
little, so I brought it back. See, That's it. Yeah. So thank you to Ernie Hudson. He was a very nice guy to meet him and everything. Uh, yeah. With moving on with the more news, kind of getting away from the Ghostbusters thing. It is a good movie, by the way. Everybody, if you want to see it, see it. You'll have a blast. Uh, the the Ninja Turtles, they've been dropping the Motu Ninja Turtles crossover figures. They've been dropping a lot more figures lately. I
Hmm.
don't know if you saw that Mattel did a big reveal, and then the next day, Pixel Dan did this whole like breakdown. So like half of them are gonna go to Target and half of them are gonna go to Walmart.
Oh, I hate when they do that stuff.
And
Yeah.
only some of them are gonna be in like Big Bad and Entertainment Earth and things like that. But we'll
I'm,
see.
I'm I can't wait for the new digitals ones, the ones that come with the display stand. Um, the ones that's the drawing, the original drawing of Kevin
Oh yeah,
Eastman and Peter Lloyd. That's the
yep,
one I'm gonna probably get because it's out of the ordinary. I think you get the drawing with it, a recreation of the drawing, and I
yeah,
think it's cool to have because it's not the typical '90s turtles or
yep,
what's everybody knows of the turtles.
yeah. Oh, I that a little fun fact. I found this out. You know that they're doing this, the four turtles, but in sort of a Motu origin style with fully articulated, the '88 turtles, but fully articulated,
Yeah,
right? and they come with sort of a little diorama. They messed up. They made the Donatello head. They put it on Leonardo, and the Leonardo head they put it on Donatello. This might just be the
Really?
promotional thing. Yeah, this is just what's known right now. But between now and July, when this thing is supposed to drop,
I think I still have a picture of that. Let me see if I can pull it up real
yeah,
fast.
yeah. If you could pull it up, that'd be good.
Um. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I do have it.
they put the wrong heads.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'll show you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah. Which is kind of funny because last year they decided to just. I actually have the giant turtles, but they put them all to be Raphael. Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
So you see,
Maybe.
Donnie's got Leo's head, and Leo's got Donnie's head.
Oh yeah, you're right. I see it now with the teeth mark. Yeah, the way they're.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's probably just a misprint for sure, or maybe they're just
so
trying to give them a different look. you
I
know.
don't know if it's just the first promotional shot. These might that's why it's kind of hard to even like nitpick this stuff because we don't know the full articulation, we don't know the height, we don't know the plastic because sometimes they'll do cheap plastic and it'll turn to shit, you know. But sorry to
Yeah.
curse, but
Only at Walmart though. Sorry, guys.
yeah,
No, I'm kidding.
uh, look, if they decide to do it for real, this like I said, I think that only at Walmart is probably the the 4 pack version, the one that comes with the stand. When they release the regular standard figures, just like standalones, I think that's gonna
Mhm.
be everywhere. There's no
Well,
way you don't do that.
like this one's only at Target. And you know what's funny is it comes out in June, and I keep an eye out on Target because, like I said, this is the one I'm going to buy.
Yeah,
And yeah, you can't find anything but this promotional ad from a one of those cons. And it took
I,
me
I
forever.
yeah,
It just took me forever to even find this little poster.
yeah.
So
Uh, I mean, I'm more excited for the one on the bottom, the
yeah,
88, because that's literally what I grew up on.
well, that's what I grew up on too. So
But another mistake on that. Well, maybe it's not a mistake, but if you can zoom back into the 88 one, the 88 turtles.
okay,
Okay, you look at them. They have the weapons of the classics ones that they've re-released like 100 times. Those are not their weapons. You see how big the size on Raphael are?
yeah, they look like the ones from the new show, the new Turtles.
No, no, those are the weapons from the ones that are right now at Burdines and things like that and Ross. Those the ones from 2012.
Oh,
The
okay,
big articulated one, the first attempt at the figures. Those are the weapons.
yeah. Oh, okay,
That's why they have color bands on the weapons, and the weapons look a little funny.
yeah.
I also got to see their hands because man, I like those 2012 turtles, the classics ones, the ones that are fully articulated ones, but their hands were garbage because they couldn't hold anything.
Well, you see this, they come with secondary weapons too.
Yeah, Leo's got
Yeah,
some like futuristic looking, blaster sword thing. I was like, well, that doesn't
yeah.
make any sense. The
And you
others
got
kind of
Raph
make
with
sense.
this, with like a hammer
Yeah,
pick thing.
it's the reversed
Yeah.
hammer uh, scythe
But
type thing.
but Raph's, I mean not Raph's, Michelangelo's and Donnie's make more sense.
Yeah, because Mikey
Um,
had that in the original show when the parents started talking bad about the nunchucks, so they switched
yeah.
out Michelangelo's weapons. So that see those are the weapons from other figures. Those are not the weapons that should be. For Leo, they look fine, and Mikey too. But the one that really stands out is Raph. Raph's got
Yeah, Raph's is
giant.
huge.
That
Yeah.
really is Raph. I have to see also the back of the shell, like everybody else. We want to see if they have the things to hold the weapons, if they're molded on belts,
Well,
if
I can
they're
tell you right now,
mobile.
Raph has his. You can see Raph's
Yeah,
right here. And Donnie's is right there. So I'm assuming they're still doing the old fashioned belt, like the ones from the 90s, 89, 90s.
yeah.
But I want to see the shell too because oops, I can't really see the shell too much.
Well, what I mean is when the original had the removable belts, so you could take them off and you could put them on, whatever. But
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if these are sculpted into it. That's my point.
Oh, I
So
got you. I got you. All in one. Okay.
yeah,
Who? It's a
but
possibility.
yeah, but we've been you know, with our banter. It's time to get in the game with the today's topic: Turtles
Yes.
of Grayskull by the Power of Pizza, comic number one. This is the obviously a crossover between Ninja Turtles and Motu, and this is by Freddie Williams the second. He's he's got a really good interview by Mega J. Mega J does a really good interview with him. So plug for Mega J. I don't mind plugging other people. If they do good work, they do good work. So
Oh yeah, for sure. Always, you know.
I think he's got like an hour and 15-minute interview. It's pretty good. Uh, so the comic opens in Planet Eternia, where everything's fine, and then He-Man, Mossman, Man at Arms, Ram Man, Roboto, Tila, and Battle Cat are basically just like staking out the place, and then He-Man and Battle Cat go on patrol. Then later, Man at Arms and Tila go check out disturbance in the swamp, and that's where we get our first technical crossover character, which is we're introduced to Mouse Jaw, which is a combination of the Mousers
Uh huh.
and Trapjaw. It's a hybrid mashup figure that's attacking, the swamp and everything. So then, Man at Arms and Tila, they start fighting off the Mousers, and the numbers start gaining. And guess what? The turtles come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool to see, like, because they didn't play their hand all the way. Like wasn't a straight. Here's He-Man and Battle Cat, and now here's the turtles. No, they put in Man at Arms and Tila, and the turtles come and save 'em, basically. And then they evened up the odds. They start whooping ass. Basically, they start destroying all the Mousers, and they trap Mouse Jaw basically, and that's pretty fun. Also, Roboto's there, but he's only in one little thing, so you might miss Roboto. And then they exchange once they have the bad guys basically subdued. They uh they start exchanging pleasantries and like, hey, how you doing? Oh yeah, we came from a dimension. Yeah, the basic crossover stuff like that
Oh
happens in
yeah.
every freaking show ever. Then we get a flashback where Shredder and Krang are in Dimension X, and the turtles, they run in and they're like, Shredder, we're gonna stop you. And then Shredder's like, all right, boom, and then they, basically send them, teleporting through a dimensional rift because it's the Technodrome.
Yeah, of
And
course they do this all the time.
yeah, and that's how they end up in Eternia, which is the world that he
Grace.
made.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, this comic is fun to read. It's not very long, but it is, like I said, it's very well done. The art is very good,
Oh, I love the
and
artwork. The artwork was beautiful when I saw it. Yeah.
yeah, funny for that too. There's multiple versions of this comic book out now because the original releases didn't have any bubbles, so there was no text. It was just artwork, 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 artwork.
That's what I saw online today. Because I decided, because I don't own these characters, and I realized when we were doing this that it
Hmm.
came with the characters.
Hmm.
It didn't come by itself. So I looked it up online, and I just saw ones without the bubbles, without any text. It's just plain pictures. I'm just like, this is interesting. It's kind of like make your own story in your head, kind of
Yeah,
thing. And
yeah,
then I saw another website that had the bubbles. I'm just like, huh, okay, you
yeah.
know.
It's weird that they release it like that, but it's also very much what He-Man has always done because He-Man's always had multiple releases for multiple uh territories. So like I'm Latino, so I've seen He-Man in Spanish. We've seen the Spanish mini comics, como si nada, mira, viene He-Man and whatever. So we're accustomed to reading it that way, but we're also accustomed to like the UK sometimes gets a lot of the blank ones, like you're saying. It's just like
Hmm.
images but no text. So that's very keeping up with just what Motu does.
Yeah.
Uh, they actually have this too right now, and I saw this before we started filming. They have it on Big Bad Toy. Like they have like you can get the Ram Man that's like 20 21 bucks. But there's two versions. You could get the regular release or the international release. And I think the international release is the one that's not gonna have any of the thought bubbles for Ram
Okay.
Man. That's a big Ram
I,
mutated man.
I just wish they would sell it by itself.
No,
you
yeah.
know.
I'm sure they have to eventually just like release the books, like you're saying
Yeah.
about comic books and stuff like that. Well, okay, here's the book of origins, or here's the book, the mini comics of this, or whatever. But
Exactly.
getting back to the comic. Oh, by the way, I think this is our first episode doing a comic review. So
It is.
there you go. We're breaking new ground here.
Yeah, we're breaking new ground. There is one I
Yeah,
want to do later, but I have to still buy it.
yeah. Which one is which one do you want to do?
uh, the Power Rangers: The Return from Amy Jo Johnson and Boom Studios. Uh,
Yeah.
it's only a 4 comic book series, and I hear people say it's better than Once and Always. They consider it more of the 30th anniversary what it should have been. I haven't read it. I don't know. All I know is I've heard people talk about it on YouTube and show pictures out of the comic book, and it's just like I want to read this thing, you know. But back to Grayskull.
Yeah, back to Grayskull. So then we have the turtles and the Master of the Universe basically exchanging armor, which is weird, but it also makes sense because Man at Arms makes all the weaponry, and so
Mhm.
they give Michelangelo a blonde wig. They give Raphael the Ram Man helmet. Leonardo gets these swords, basically the armor. And since you want to sell toys, they also give a samurai-ish look to Man at Arms, and they give Tila like sort of this Ninja Turtle armor. So that's
Well,
pretty cool to see it.
well, again, this comic book is drawn just for the toy or toy line, so I that makes plenty of sense, and I'm glad that it explains how the turtles get their looks, and not just, oh, they got to Grayskull and boom, they automatically have this stuff. Like some
Yeah,
crossovers do. Some crossovers do that, like, oh, they jump from a time warp to this, and then all of a sudden they have all this stuff. At least
yeah,
this one
no,
explains it.
yeah. Then oh, by the way, in this sort of segment, they have a mouse jaw trapped, and they're basically like making jokes about him. He's looking like a fool because he is a secondary character, so he's just like an
Yeah.
idiot. He's in jail. uh then we get a cut to later in Snake Mountain, where Skeletor, Krang, and Shredder are celebrating the perfect mutation of arcane arts and mutation put together. So
Hmm.
arcane arts is basically because I've seen terms for Skeletor's, the big Havoc staff that he has, but
Yeah.
this is just what they call it in this particular comic. So just so you know. Also here you see freaking Krang already mutated into his green skin,
Uh huh.
and, and Shredder's wearing this Shredderish He-Man-ish armor. So he's like,
Yes.
man, that boy look. That's a good look for Shredder. I'll say that.
Yeah.
That boy look right. Uh, so there's basically there then Leatherhead, which is sort of a sneak because they put half a Leatherhead's face in one column, and then in the other column they like pull the arm, and he's like you see the arm and a hat, but
Okay. Yeah.
you're pulling in the figure, but it's Leatherhead.
Yeah.
It's very much Leatherhead. He's dragging out this giant purple monsterish looking thing. And then Skeletor is like, "Hey, this is the best day of my life. I couldn't be happier." And then it's revealed that He-Man's been mutated into purple, so he's this big
Big
type monster.
purple
Yeah,
Incredible Hulk. No, I'm kidding.
yeah. Then it's to be continued, and the
Yeah.
second the second part is actually titled "Belly of the Beast Man," which is a play on Belly of the Beast, but there's
Uh
one of the
huh.
characters called Beast Man, and that's basically the mini comic. What did you
Oh
think?
wow. Well, like I said, I looked it up when I got home, and again, artwork beautiful, storyline great. Um,
Yeah,
I don't know when the second comic is, if it's been released or not, because
probably
like I
wave
said,
two.
probably
Wave
Rave 2.
two.
That would make sense, yeah. But yeah, the drawings, the artwork, um, to me alone, and as you as an artist yourself, that type of stuff takes a long time. I don't care if you have a computer generated way of doing it, even CGI drawings and stuff take a long time to do. And to do it by frame, because that's what a comic book is. It's this frame, it goes to this frame, goes to this frame. Uh, just to think about how you're gonna draw the next frame, it's gonna take you
Yeah,
some time. Like we were talking about, being a musician here, you being a Troy slash TV, creator. Yeah, we all know that takes a long time, but it takes planning ahead of time. We got this Troy line. We got this. How can we tell a story between it all, and how can we make it look right? You know. Um.
yeah.
Yeah.
I finally opened this guy up.
Oh, okay.
His helmet is not removable, by the way. I was kind of playing with it, see if I could take it off, but you can't. So
Oh, that's
nope.
too bad.
Yeah, because the bandana and the helmet are glued together. They're one piece. So
Okay.
you don't want that. You're like, but it's modular, so it's not the end of the world if you take it off. Look,
Oh.
it doesn't
Oh,
fall, which is
nice. Okay.
very much a
That's
toy
good.
test. That's a toy
Oh
test.
yeah.
As a toy maker, I know about toy
Oh,
tests.
I thought that was the test they do for blizzards at Dairy Queen.
Yeah. Man, they say that, but I've had some shitty Dairy Queen.
I'm sorry. I know that was way off topic, but I
Oh, but
remember that being.
you just reminded me how watery some of the Dairy Queen stuff can be sometimes. I'm not talking bad about it, just my particular experience.
No, Dairy Queen for the it's an ice cream shop. Really, it's the place you go to get your cold ice cream and cold drinks and stuff like that. More than the actual food's good too. I like the food there, but it's pricey, very pricey. At least it is over here in Washington. Um,
What is it, like $7, $8? Because that's kind of what it
oh,
is here.
yeah, it can get up to like 12 with certain items, but yeah, it's like
Yeah.
if you wanna, I guess it's kind of like going from you want to go from McDonald's that is really fast, really quick, really easy, kind of cheap. Gonna get a $5 to a hamburger, or do you want to go wait 5-10 minutes at a non-fast food restaurant? you know, um, I guess you get what you pay for sometimes. I gotta say sometimes, not always,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah.
Now that you say about paying what you get with last time we were talking, we did an episode and we were talking about mechanics and stuff like that,
Oh
right? Like
God, yes.
tires. Bro, today I spent $200, and I don't know what the hell I spent $200 on. Since we're talking money, I guess I
Wow.
I got an oil change for the car, and I had to get synthetic oil because this is what people really want to watch the show
Oh yeah,
for
for sure.
auto repair.
Here we go again. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah. Here's the cute part. I had to get a new key for the car, right? So
Hmm.
they charged me for the key. They charged me for programming. Man, they want to charge you for everything, bro. Like
Everything, yeah.
I ended up driving home, and then I was like, all right, let me get something to eat. So I got something to eat. $200 gone like this,
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
easily.
And
Well,
here's the funny part. I still haven't put gas in the car. I left, bro, and I did
ah,
this in the span of like less than an hour, and I was like, bro, you know what I gotta do to make $200? And like,
good
God,
luck. Yeah. It's funny because tomorrow I'm gonna go car hunting. Yes, I'm gonna call car hunting because I'm not sure what car I'm picking out. And
yeah,
no, it's not gonna be a brand new car. I'm not that kind of YouTuber. I'm not that rich, not yet. So it's gonna be used. But the other day I drove a car. It was a Hyundai Accent, a beautiful looking car. It was nice and red. A little
what
too
year?
small from. It was a 2014. I think. It
That's
was
good.
13 or 14. But I literally could do this and touch the ceiling with my hand. It was that tight. I felt kind of claustrophobic. But I was like, it's in my price range. It's a good car. It's driving nice. Until I realized something. They had the heater turned on. I turned the heater off, hit that brake, and I hear like the engine was moving. And I'm like, oh, hell no. I did a flipping U
What,
turn and went back to the lot.
was that the? Did you check if it was the starter? Was the starter
No,
not
no, 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 no. It
hitting the
wasn't the
ignition
starter.
to
No, no, no. I was
start the
driving.
technical combustion? You know?
No, no. I was driving the car. I was
Yeah.
actually driving the car and slowing down, hitting the brakes, and all of a sudden I hear like something was moving in the car. Like it was like, no, no, no. I don't think it's supposed to be doing that sound. Not for me driving for years on end. Even my car that I drive right now that's been in an accident doesn't even make that sound when I hit the brakes. Everything's solid. This sounded like something was loose. Like it was moving. But if I was accelerating, it was fine. But if I was trying to slow down with the brakes, it was the brakes. It wasn't even if I let go of the gas, it was fine. But if I tried to slow down with the brakes, it was. And I was like, something's gonna break on this thing real fast. And I was like, nope, nope. And I have my boss has one, and it was the same year. Like I said, I think it's the 2013. She has too. And I asked her about it. She goes, "No, it's not supposed to make that sound. You made a good choice of not getting it." you know,
Yeah.
um, yeah.
You got like, hey, you got lucky because at least it happened to you right there while you were like testing the car. Sometimes you put the money, you drive off with the car, and then everything starts like turning to crap.
Oh,
That's the
sure.
worst.
My car that I have right now, when I bought it, it's just because I bought that car because that's the car I always wanted. I always wanted a
Mhm.
Scion XB, and I finally found one, and it ran great. And like you were saying, it was about 2 months into owning it, and all of a sudden, I noticed that it wasn't climbing hills very well. And then anybody that knows what that's about, transmission is pretty much going out on you. And I was like, kind of thing. And I was like, I'll just go buy a new transmission. 10 grand down the 10 grand, just boom, to get a transmission from Toyota himself, and they installing it. So it was 10 grand for the installation and the transmission. So I think the transmission was probably about 8 grand, but still, old 2010 Scion transmission, brand new this, brand new that, because
Yeah, for that you
me,
might as well get another car.
yeah,
You're putting 10 grand into it, dude.
but
But
personally for myself though, that was the car that I've been wanted for since I was a young driver, and I was like,
okay,
I probably could have it, and then got in a car accident 2 years ago, and my baby's gone. It's still here, but it's not perfect anymore.
yeah,
So
yeah. The other day I was driving and I went to go put gas and I didn't notice that in the curve of the gas pump there was this big bar to turn, and I thought I had enough clearance, and I
oh
didn't,
no.
and I scratched up the side of my car, and I was like, "Fuck, bro!"
Yeah, that's no good.
I didn't even think it was that bad until I got out of the car. Then when you
And
get
you
out of the car, you're like, "Oh man, the freaking corner."
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
is it like a deep scratch, or can you just like paint over it?
No, it's a bend. It's not even a
Oh,
scratch. That's the funny
it's
thing.
a bend.
Yeah, it's like warped, but it's the paint still. It's perfect. That's the funny. I don't know. I've seen some YouTube stuff where like some dudes will like get a glue gun and they'll put a bunch of sticks together. They'll glue it and then they'll just one pull and they'll
Oh
pop,
yeah.
pop into
There's
place.
there's
Yeah,
actually devices out there you can buy that's like remember those old guns you used to fire and had like a little sticky thing on it? You can stick it to
yeah,
your TV and stuff. Well, there's a thing you can buy for a car that it has like the big one of those, and you put it in place and you like clamp it this way, and you
yeah.
screw, and it goes and it pops out, and then you just loosen it up and it's done. You pop the dent out or the bend out or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
You know what I do want? I have to get this sooner than later. Is the headlights? The headlights for mine are like all fogged up. I mean, they
Okay.
work fine and everything's fine, but they could be better. You know what I mean? And I
Oh yeah,
really
for
need to
sure.
get. And it's not the bulb. It's because for the back of the car, you could just switch out the bulb and you'll be fine. But for the front
Hmm.
of the car, the headlights, you have to change out the whole piece. And
Really?
I, yeah, I went to one of those the oh, we can restore the headlights to original for like $40. And I'm like, all right, so do it. And then the guy looked at my car and he's like, there's no restoring this because the plastic lining has already cracked because of the heat. So you're not restoring anything. That
Well,
those things.
you live in Florida. You're gonna have heat.
Well,
Yeah.
at least he was nice enough to say it to my face. I mean, a lot of these, people that come with the bullshit. Like, not to curse, but like they tell you one price, and then when you get there, it's another price. Like, uh,
Yeah, they're gonna do the treatment anyways for making it look brand new, and then just to tell you later, well, it's only gonna last 2 months because there's a crack. The oxygen's gonna get inside or whatever, whatever. Yeah,
it's funny. Like every mechanic must think everybody that's not a mechanic is the biggest moron on earth. Like they could tell you anything. Oh, it's the flux capacitor. It's the what? I'm like, all right, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, speaking of flux capacitors,
yeah.
uh, Back to the Future. The DeLorean. I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw it, but I think it was like 2 years ago now. They brought out a new DeLorean, but something was a catch-22 with it. You had to be part of the DeLorean club online, and there
Oh,
was only
is
a
it one of
limited.
those subscription things, or like you get notices and like it's like a touring DeLorean thing, so you can like take pictures with it,
No, it
but
was
it's
a
not a buy DeLorean. It's like one
no,
or two that they have travel.
no. This was actually made by DeLorean,
Hmm.
and it's a limited run of cars. Go figure. But you had to be in this DeLorean fan club and to purchase one of the cars.
Yeah,
And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, well, that's cool. But even if you're in that DeLorean club because you like Back to the Future or whatever it was,
yeah.
how much is this car really worth to you? Only thing I thought was cool is like it came with like this little bracelet thing, and you gave
Hmm.
it to like your kid or your wife or your girlfriend, and when she misses you, she could hit a button, and the seat will actually like hug you, and the seat reacts to the bracelet. I was like, okay, that's futuristic. And the dashboard had two modes that had the newer day look, or you hit a button and went back to the 1980s DeLorean look, and it's all
Hmm.
virtual. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. But again, how much is this car? Who's going to actually own it? And if they do own it, are they actually going to drive it? Or are they just going to leave it in the garage and only drive it once a year because of how expensive it is and how limited it is?
Isn't it like god awful for the environment too to have a DeLorean? Like, it's one of the worst cars you can it's better to have a Hummer than it is to drive a DeLorean for the
Right?
gas and the toxic stuff, the toxic emissions things.
But
I don't know.
let's talk about that for a second because I understand this concept. And even me
Yes,
as,
that's why people tune in for toxic
yeah, yeah,
emission
yeah,
talks.
exactly. But let's talk about this. Let's say you have an eco-friendly car, like
Yeah.
some kind of hybrid, or you have an all-electric car, like a Nissan Leaf, right? That's great. You're not paying for much gas. If you have a Nissan Leaf, you're not paying for any gas because it's pure electric. But like a Tesla, um, but do you know how much those tabs are? How much everything is for that at the end of the year, or until you switch the tabs out?
Hmm.
My I had a boss that had a Tesla, and he goes, "I pay over $1,000 just for my tabs."
Jeez.
Why? Because you're not buying gas. You're not buying gas, so they can't tax you on gas. So they're like, "Let's just tax you on your tabs more than everybody else." It's the same piece of paper, same piece of stickers. But oh, you have that kind of car. But if you have an old
Oh,
fashioned car
yeah.
that runs pure on gas, you're only paying maybe $100 or so, maybe two.
You just reminded me. I told you I changed the oil today in the car, right? The guy wanted to charge me $5 to reset the oil system light in the car. When you change the oil, it still says change oil. You have to reset it, physically, and when you're pumping the thing, so that it'll reset. So for the next time, you need to change the oil.
Yeah.
He wanted to charge me $5. I was like, what? You fucking. This is your job, bro. Like what?
Next time, take it up to AutoZone or O'Reilly's or whatever kind of place you have, and tell them to
Yeah.
hook up that little computer thing and hit the button, and they'll probably do it for free.
bro, he was like so freaking lazy, bro. I've never seen something like this. Like you don't even want to reset the oil change after you did the oil change, you stupid son of. You know what I mean? It's like,
Are you sure he did the oil change?
no, he did, because I saw him lift
Yeah.
up the car and everything. But it's just
Yeah.
I don't
No, it's called laziness. It should be part of the oil change. What you
know.
pay for, it should be automatic. It shouldn't be, oh, it's gonna cost you extra $5 for me to hit a button or for me to put a little code in or whatever.
Yeah,
No, it should have been automatically in the price. And I never heard of that before. I never heard of anybody charging for that. I've heard of people charging for oil distribution. You got to change the oil. Where does it go? You have to get rid of it. Same thing with tires. You get brand new tires. They get rid of the tires, so it just costs you a fee to get rid of the tires. But to turn off a sensor, no, I've never heard that one.
it's a
Let's turn off the
sensor that
sensor now.
that he worked on. That's the thing. You just changed the oil. Why would you not just hit the reset? And
Yeah.
I have to tell you before I leave. It's just I don't know. It's
See,
weird
for
stuff.
me, for most of my calls I've ever had, we never had a sensor like that. Mine usually would be like maintenance. It would be like a little light that would say maintenance needed.
Hmm.
And basically, as soon as you fix the oil, you did the oil change, you turn it on, and you drive it for like 5 minutes, the whole thing just resets itself. But
Yeah,
still, I mean, if it's something that needs to be done, it should be done. Unless it's
yeah.
something that, it's like
You
physically
said it.
hard.
No, you said it. Like, now everybody wants to charge you for every little thing in every service.
Yeah.
And uh, I don't know. But to sort of end the show on a high note. Uh, are you gonna watch the Kong Godzilla Part Two, that movie coming out? I think it's today or tomorrow. Come out.
Is it today or tomorrow? Well, if it's today or tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to. I'm getting ready to go to Thailand in about a week from the filming of this podcast. Let me make it clear. Filming of this podcast is about a week and a few days. But yeah, so I leave
Yeah,
I leave out of the country on the 10th. And it's already been an experience and a half just to deal with all the other crap going on in my life right now that I really I'm just gonna keep to me because it's nothing you guys really need to know about. But yeah, it's been hell just to get through this, just to leave the country. Uh, but yeah,
yeah,
that's about all I got.
yeah. Uh, by the way, for everyone watching, you're not gonna notice the gap because we're recording these episodes, so it really won't be a gap for you guys. It'll be
No,
us. So just so you guys know, oh, we're not having an episode next week. Yeah, you are. Everything's fine. It's just
the only difference you might see is some of the editing differences
yeah,
because closer I get to leaving, less editing I'm gonna actually have to do to add those pictures and stuff to it because I don't have my computer going with me because my computer is an actual desktop computer I use for doing my work for all my editing.
yeah,
But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. So have a good
yeah,
night, good day, good evening,
yeah,
whatever time it is that you're watching. And we'll
yeah,
catch
yeah.
you on our next podcast on CRT. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Peace.